And good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to, I was about to say February. Ooh, I'm not ready to get rid of January just yet. January 13th edition of the Makers and Movers podcast. How are you doing this morning, folks? Did you have a great weekend? This is a good weekend of football for some teams, others not so much, but welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your first time here or long time here, and know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather is like in your area. Now, if you're team replay, make sure you're putting that in the comments too. Hashtag team replay, put that in there. And I need your 5 things as I'm going through a list of stuff that I need to get done today. We've got DTF and UV DTF. We've got mock-ups. We've got a setup posting. We've got DTF bundles to work on. And I've got a webinar to work on. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. Because today's thing, how to pick the best products for your Spiritwear store. Now, we started talking Spiritwear on Friday, right? Well, first off, let me check in with everybody, and then I'm going to tell you what kind of we're going on, what kick we're having, and what's coming up here in the future. So let me move this over here. Then I can see that. What's up, Chuck? Good morning from cloudy Florida. Renee, good morning. -2 on the way to 4. Yeah, what is the temp here? It was cold when I took the kids to school, and I haven't even bothered to look, but it was cold. 9 feels like -7. That's what we got. Burr. On the way to 4, Chicagoland, water in the bottle, coffee in the cup, organized top 5. Hi, Chuck. Barb, good morning to you from north central Minnesota, -15. Real feel, -28. Cloudy. Water in the cup. 5 things. Invoicing, sourcing product, digitizing, embroidery sweatshirts, 3D printing. Barb's got a busy day ahead of her. Hi, Chuck and Renee from Barb. Good morning, Barb from Renee. Jenny checking in. It is 12 very cold degrees here. Water in the cup. Yeah, it's cold. Jerry, morning all. Morning to you, Jerry. Hi, Jerry. And Jerry's giving her hellos to Renee, Chuck, Barb, Jenny, and myself. Renee, back to Jenny and Jerry. And we've got Tim. Good morning, YouTube Live. Ooh, or not. We got Tim. We got Jeff. I don't know why. So it's so easy to confuse the two. 26th there in Northern Kentucky. Feels like 13. Already drank my drink. Kids went back to school today. Really? They just went back to school today? 5 things is basically the 5 things I would do. Print, package, post office. I thought there was 5 P's. Now I got to remember. But how you doing there, Jeff? Kids just went back to school today. Wow. Our kids went back last Tuesday. Full week this week. Then they got Monday off for Martin Luther King Day, and then 4 days. And we leave a week from tomorrow. I think our flight is like at 5 a.m. I think that's when it is. I got to double check. I have my notification set for like 3 a.m. to be up. So I think we'd leave here at 4 to be at the airport. And then Long Beach bound. Actually, San Diego bound first. Let's go San Diego bound. Then we'll go Long Beach. Hi, Jerry from Barb. And Cindy, good morning. It's a deceptively sunny 9, right? Yeah. You're in the Walmart parking lot. Ooh, you're right over there. And I'm drinking Blue Raz Airheads Energy. Almost in your backyard. You are. You're supposed to get a hold of me and let me know what's up with this makerspace thing you got going on, ma'am. I want more information. Hi, Jeff and Cindy from Jerry. Hi, Jeff and Cindy from Barb. There's Tim. Good morning, all. 20 out. Coffee in the cup. How you doing, Tim? Hi, Barb, Renee, and Jerry Springer. That is pretty true. Hi, Tim. There is the Jerry Springer show on Netflix, the documentary. I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list of things to watch. Collate fundraising order from school invoice, figure out thermal printer, order prints. Love it, love it, love it. Jeff's giving some smiley faces, and hey, Tim from Jerry. So last week, we talked Spiritwear on Friday, and Spiritwear is one of those things that, it's what we built our business on. Like when we decided to take things serious and we started looking at ways to scalable ways to build our business. Like what are things that we could do? And we realized that it was in the team side of things, whether that's Spiritwear, team stores, corporate stores, school stores, it's a great way to do it. And we got started with nothing, right? Like when we got started, it was how inexpensively can we get this going? How can we set up stores? What can we do for artwork? Here's everything that we have. And as we grew that, we grew with it too. And between the between that and what's the other one? I just completely lost my train of thought on that one. Between building that out and looking to see where we're at, there's a lot of steps along the way. Well, when we were talking on Friday about it, I had some people reach out to me and they're like, so what do I need to do? What do I really need to get started with this? And I said, well, we have a video on the decal fundraising. That is a pretty cool thing. And you can go through and you get all the information on that. I said, and the same thing will apply in the Spiritwear. Well, they had more questions. And then it got me thinking, one of the things that has been on the back burner for probably 4 or 5 years now, is probably since right before COVID, so probably 5 years, was how can I help people build out Spiritwear stores? What can I do for that? And we one of the things was when we did the decal fundraiser, it was like, okay, here's simple enough, but I really should do one of those for Spiritwears. And so we're going to do a webinar on February 5th, 7 p.m., and that's what we're going to go over. Now, here's the thing, is I'll be straight up front with it. If people like the information that's found in that, I'm going to offer a course at the end of it. Here's a course to buy at the end of it. That'll walk you through our step-by-step, everything that comes along with that, and how we can make that work and how you can do it. And it's pretty much, you can do this from home. You don't need any fancy equipment. You don't need the storefront. There's a lot of people that, just throwing an extra $1,000 a month in their pocket would really be helpful to them. And so we're going to walk through that process. And it's something that on that back burner we've been working on for years, and now it just needs to happen. So the webinar will kind of, go be an overview of it, give you some tips and some ideas with it. But, hey, if you like that and you want more information, there is going to be a course on it. There is going to be a standalone group just for that, where the only thing that's talked about is team stores, Spiritwear stores, corporate stores. That's the only thing that's going to be in there for, and on all parts of it. So it's something that I think really, if you're into that, you can really make the investment. And we're going to walk you through, hey, here's how we set up stuff with low to no cost, all the way up to the processes that we use now with online designers, with separate program for building out stores. And that's the goal of that. So we're going to put all of that in there. And the webinar will be a free webinar on February 5th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we're working on that. The course we will be putting out after that, and that's what I'm working on. Friday I had a good long conversation with my mentor, kind of laying out framework of it for this. So we kind of put a plan of attack of what I need to do, what I need to have done. I'll meet with them again at the end of this week, and we'll see where we are with that. Next week is going to be one where we're working on it here and there, because, hey, we're going to be in Long Beach next week. We'll be in San Diego, then Long Beach. So, and then that following 2 Wednesdays, right? 2 Wednesdays after that is when it'll be. So a lot of the content that I'm going to post between now and then are going to be ideas, questions. If you see anything that you can add to it, please do, because we're going to give the best information that we can, the most up-to-date information we can. And if you ask questions on those, then we can make sure to answer those questions. So that is what's going on with it. And that's why today, as I'm looking over at my notes on the side, because I've got notes written everywhere as we're going through and building this out. And so on this one, it's how to pick the best products for your Spiritwear store. Now, this one is a tough one, but it's not as tough as what we can make it out to be, because a lot of times we get in our own head and we decide, oh, what do I offer? What don't I need to do? And so as we go through it, one of the first things, let me catch up and see on this. Let's see. Tim, 5 things. Get print set up, nice. Set up Facebook posts, very nice. Work on websites more, love it. Get this house cleaned some more. There you go. And have flat glass quote to do it for another church. Tim just rocking and rolling. Jerry's giving applause for the webinar. Do VIPs get it for free or cheap? Well, VIPs, it's free for everybody. This one will be free for everybody. When we do the course, there will be a discount in there for sure on it. And Renee says, which platform will you be building the store on? Equid or I'm not building on Spotify. That's music. Shopify. What we're going to build it on is we're going to show the freeway. So we'll in the course, we'll do Equid because that's the free way to do it. We can do it with 5, even though they're down to 5 products, we can do it with 5 products on that. So we're going to show how to do it with low and no cost, because even on Shopify, you got to pay that $1 if you get the discount for that, or we can do it from there. So we can show an Equid. We could probably do a Shopify one in there because it's going to be broke up into modules and it'll be constantly updated. So as we add new things, it'll be in there for it. But our main thing will be Equid because that's what we knew and how we got started with it. And then Chipley, because that's what we use now. So there will be the free side and the paid side of it to show with that. And Rena, I didn't see it. So happy Monday to you, Rena. Rena, we'll see you in just a little over a week. We fly out Tuesday. We get to San Diego on Tuesday. We're going to spend Tuesday, Wednesday in San Diego, drive up to the show on Thursday, be at the show Thursday, Friday, Saturday, drive back to San Diego Sunday, and then fly out, I think, at like 5 in the morning on Monday. I think that's what it is. Hi, Rena from Barb. And he says, it's a cold 44 degrees here. Coffee's brewing, working on my 5 things. 44 degrees. That's shorts weather. That's shorts weather, baby. And hi, Barb from Rena. And weird. Live didn't auto start. That is kind of weird, Jeff. And hi, Rena. I see you. So as we go through this, what would I say? Oh, picking up let me verify that. When it comes to your stores and, picking out the best products for it, you really have to know your audience, right? Know what your audience is into, their age, their interest, who the target customer is. And the reason being is because when you can know your audience and know what it is, then it's going to work out pretty well. If you're doing, on a parent side fundraiser, what are things that parents like? We're doing a fan store. What are things that they're interested in having? When you do a separate store for, say, a school, what are the things that are offered there between the school levels, elementary school, middle school, and high school? Now, middle school has always been kind of like that, to me, that kind of wasteland school, because not a lot of people are buying things for their middle schools because, a lot of them they're only there 2 years. They're 2 years and gone. So unless it's a sport thing, they're not really doing a whole lot of Spiritwear stuff. Elementary school, high school, yes. Middle school, not so much. When you're coming to pick out those products, we know that in a lot of our school stores, especially in the elementary side, they don't want all the high-end things. They're like, hey, value friendly, what can we do with it? So that's where we stay with it. We know on our cheer and dance that they want the high-end things. So we go with the higher-end things on that. And then for our regular stores that may be, something that we're doing for a team store or something that we're doing for, a high school and that, then we're going to have a mix of it. So that way it's both things. So really knowing your audience, the things that they want, ask them, what kind of things do you want to see in your store? What kind of, here's our core products, which it's going to be number 2, is stick to the staples. You can never go wrong with t-shirts, long sleeves, crew necks, and hoodies. You can never go wrong with those. And you can mix them up, different styles, different colors, whatever. But those should be staples in every store that you do. When you're building something online, besides making the mock-ups for it, there's not really a whole lot more to it. You're not bringing in extra inventory. You're not doing extra things for it. You're making an extra listing for it. So you can offer as much, but remember, the more you offer, that sometimes it can get, a lot of crazy. A lot of crazy can happen, and people get confused, and they're not sure what they really want. At the end of the day, they don't order. So, when we know what you stick to those staples, and that's why I say even on an Equid store, we got 5 products. We can go t-shirt, long sleeve, crew neck, hoodie, tumbler. 5 things. 5 things, free store. That's going to be our perfect one with it. Let's see. Hi, Jerry. I always have to change my settings to see you. I'm still convinced you're in a witness protection program. I agree, because Jeff says the same thing too. And that is true. She does like to be difficult with it. Let me take a sip of my coffee, and we'll see what I had on the list for number 3. Yes, seasonal planning. Seasonal planning when it comes to stores. So for a typical school, we will do 3 stores a year. We'll do it in the fall, we will do it in the winter, and we'll do it in the spring. The biggest one always seems to be the fall, the first store of the year. The winter store, which we usually do in November, so that way people can things for Christmas, does okay. And then the spring one is so-so. And the reason being is, especially on the school side of things, spring school's done. School's almost out. They're done and over with it. So they're not ordering a lot of stuff because kids grow. So might not be able to fit them that next year. So the spring store, that's kind of our fun designs. That's when we're doing things for like fun runs, field days, things that we have in there with that. Now on the fall one and the winter one, you're not going to offer like tank tops in a winter store. You're not, unless you're somewhere nice where you can do it. It's just not something you're going to offer. Hoodies, always a good thing. So you always want to have that in there, but be mindful of the type of weather that you're in, the climate, and if it's something that you're going to rotate in and out, to keep the store fresh, and you let them know, hey, new designs, new products, new whatever are coming this store and this store, then you have a better chance of that happening. If you say, hey, the hoodies aren't going to be here in the fall, but they're going to be at the winter store, you're going to miss out on those fall sales. So you really go heavy on that first set of stores to know what's going to be there, what you're going to have out for it. Ooh, what's going on over there? As I'm looking to see. Are you going to offer some of your lighter things in the shoulder ones in the fall and in the spring, and then in winter go really heavy on? That's when you can do coats. That's when you can do a bunch of different variations of hoodies. Any of those things. The more heavier things for that. Now. The next thing, let's see where we're with that. I need to check my settings. Oh, yeah. Check your settings. Probably, Jerry. It's on you. Sean, good morning. Coffee in the cup, 29 degrees there in North Dallas. 5 things, quarterly taxes, sublimation order, fiber coin samples for website, noise, 3D samples for website, school fundraising, and you see, and that's what we're talking about. Yes, Cindy. So when you use loud tumblers with the horn built in, I was asked about them, but not sure if it's worth it. So you can get them in bulk. Yes, you can sign up through Loud Cup and you can get a discount on them. I have to buy them by the case. Otherwise, Amazon for the onesie twosies. In our mentorship community, Linda does a fair amount of them, I do believe, where she will put the logo on the other side. So use the UVDTF, put that on there. You're ready to go. That's probably true, Jeff. Issue with Cherry, she's using Netscape Navigator. That's probably too. Could be the AOL. Could be the AOL side of things. Okay. So next up is, if you've got a good performing store, like once as you build this up, and that's kind of like your flagship store, that everything in there, they buy every year. You don't have any issues with it. They're really interactive with it. They're really helpful when you're talking about products. You got to test those trends. Some things may not work better than others, but that's where you try it out with. Like I said, it doesn't hurt to add these things to your store. What does it cost you? The time to make the listing, the mock-up, things like that. That's it. So you can test them out to see how it is. One of the things that we tested out was the crew neck that has the pocket in it, and that surprisingly did really well. So we tried that one store, and now that's become a staple in the stores because the older people, parents, they really dig it. So we make sure to add that in there. We test out some things. There's new products that come in that we don't know, make a listing for it, put it in there, see how it does. So, testing out those trending products to see if there's any traction with it. Because you can always have your staples, like I said, that we built that list before with your t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt, crew neck, and hoodie. But what's going to set you apart from the other people offering it? Hey, here's these other products that we have. Here's these other things that we can add to it. So it's just not that same basic, here's these 3 things or 5 things, and that's it. Test out those trends with it. And then finally, quality matters, folks. And we have schools that, they want to be as value friendly as possible because, they know the funds aren't there for it. But at the same time, we can't spend people's money for them. We can't assume, well, this is a poverty-stricken school. They can't afford this. Well, if you've ever sat outside a poverty-stricken school, there's some pretty nice rides that show up with that. We've been at some poverty-stricken schools and been paid cash on that, and there's fat stacks of cash that come out. So we can't always just assume that they can't afford the thing. So don't spend their money for them. What we want to do is we want to offer quality products. So what things I stay away from, anything that's on closeout, because I want to make sure that we're able to offer all the sizes, all the colors, everything that we need for it without worrying about it going out for it. We're not going to get any of these secondhand things. I know there's a bunch of people, and it just weirds me out that they do that they go and they find these secondhand blanks, that may have blemishes in it because they can save $1 off the blank. At the end of the day, I feel my customers are worth that extra dollar. So I'm not going to do that. We're going to use reputable sources to get our things from. We're going to use quality products for it. We're going to give them options for it. We're going to say, here's the good, better, best scenario for you. And you run into that more when you're doing kind of the bulk order side of things, because one thing that we've noticed throughout the years is as we set up these team stores, we will still get bulk orders for stuff. Hey, we want to have this for this event. What can we do? Absolutely. Here you go. Where do you want to be with budget wise? And I'm not going to run right up to you tell me a budget. Hey, we have a budget of $15 a shirt. Great. Here it is. No, we're going to give you stuff that, is below that budget, right at that budget, and a little more so you can have your options to go from it. I highly recommend that when a lot of these throwaway shirts, they're promotional things like that, still use a good quality shirt with it. And when they say we want the cheapest possible, no, they don't. If your object is to get people to see your message that's out there, you don't want to use a cheap shirt. You want to use a comfortable shirt, a shirt that people want to wear. The days of, yep, here's 100%, cotton Gildan shirt, white shirt we're going to put on it. I couldn't tell you the last time we did that. And when we explained to our customers, hey, you want people to wear this. You don't want this to be a bottom drawer dweller. You don't want this to be a shop rag. You want this to be something that people are going to wear out and enjoy. And it may cost you $1 more, but isn't that worth it? So it's our job as the apparel decorator to give them the information, to lead them in the way that we want them to go. And we want them to use those high quality products. We want them to love the way they feel, because when they love the way they feel, they're going to tell others, man, that was a really nice shirt. I love this one. We see time and time again of people ordering year after year the same thing, just in a larger size, because a kid grew, or they really like that style shirt, and now there's a different logo that's available for it. So you really want to lay on those parts of things. You really want to go into yourself. You're the expert. Then you have to present yourself as the expert of why they should go with these things and do that. So as we come to a close and wrap things up, got questions, comments, concerns, put them in there. But those are our 5 things. 5 things for how to pick the best products for your Spiritwear store. So we got to know our audience. We got to stick to the staples, seasonal planning, testing those trends, and the quality matters. 5 things that we're doing with that. So let me know what you think in there. And this is, as we go through our lives between, because we have 2 more lives this week, Wednesday, Friday, because we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Then we'll do it next Monday. There will not be one for a week because we will be in Long Beach. We'll be in San Diego. Probably not going to be one on the next 3 shows, and then we'll get right back into it there. But between now and our webinar on February 5th, we're going to be talking all Spiritwear side of things, team store side of things, all of that, because that's what we're leading into. As we build out the stuff, the links will become available for it. Everything will be there, so you can go sign up for it. And that's what we're really looking at doing and pushing that for it. So pretty excited about that. And at the end of the day, it's something that we've been working on. It's just always been kind of back here. I've tried with 2 different people to kind of build a system for it. Then neither one of them really felt as passionate about it as I did. And so when we look, we're going through names of different things, how to do it, and the biggest thing is that you're able to do this from home. We'll walk you through hey, I don't have a storefront. How do I set up meetings? Well, there's coffee shops, right? Make a relationship with your local coffee shop and say, hey, can I have meetings here? We're going to pay for those. Most don't have any problem with it. In your chains, as far as like Panera and Starbucks, don't have a problem with it either. You're buying something, and that's always the key. Just buy something when you're there for it. Buy yourself a drink, buy the customer a drink, get something in it. Because that's how we got started. I remember our very first meeting with a parent planning committee over picking out uniforms and going through it was at a Culver's. We said, hey, yeah, we can do this for you. And we got some, I don't even remember how many things. The cheese curds were split. We went over some stuff, and that's what it was. You don't need to have that storefront for it. We didn't. We were able to do it without it, and that's what you need to do. So that's what we got for it. Let's check in. He's on. I think if I do this wrestling event this year, I'm going to make a Chipley store, send people that want hoodies and long sleeves. I'll send them that and have them order. Absolutely, Tim. So when every on-site event that we did, we'd create a store for it, and we would allow them to pick up. So when we do our pressing events at the schools in the fall, that on backpack night and that, prior to that, we will have them send out a link to the store so they can order everything, and then they can pick it up at the event. And then there's a lot of times the beginning of the year one is a little harder to do because there's already enough going on with people. But what we do is say, hey, there's only going to be select things available on site. If you want the full access to it, order now. We'll have it there for you to pick up at the site. So it gives them, they have more options to get more things. And then at the event, what we'll do is say, hey, you can order online, use this code in. You have till, so the event's on a Friday, you have until Sunday to order your things. And here's the code for free shipping. Just build shipping in your pricing. That's how we work around this. But that way it says, yeah, okay, we can go ahead and do that because it's not going to cost you any more. Here it is. Here's the code for free shipping. We'll ship it out to you. So there's ways around it, and it will increase that bottom line on it. You'd be surprised, Jerry, that no one really wants cheap. We've got a lot of people that want as cheap as possible. I had somebody that said, hey, I need to get shirts at for like $3 each. And I said, you better add some money to that. Or I need to have, a lot of zeros behind how many units that you need, because that is not, it's not bueno, not happening. And Sean, love the team story. And I love it because it's something I know really well. It's something that we've done to get started. It's something that we've helped, hundreds of people over the years to get started on their own. And now it's time to, start putting that knowledge in one base for it. Here's how we did it. Here's the webinar for it. Here's the course that we're building out for it. Here's the materials for it. Here's the private group that, as long as you are in that, we're going to have monthly updates on email scripts, tips, artwork, things like that. We're going to do it. It's going to be very community driven, but you're going to have the access to that group. You're going to have the access to the new things each month, because as we go into it, each new sport, could have its own set of messaging to use for emails, for Facebook posts, for how design artwork should look like. So we're really going to lean into heavy on that side, and that's what we want to do. We've gotten to a point where we're comfortable with where we're at, and we are going to walk through that. Here's how many stores that I feel comfortable with us doing per year based on our volume of what we have. And when people are like, I don't know if I can do this because, I don't have the storefront. We haven't had a storefront now for 5 years, right? Because it was right when COVID, our last one was right there before COVID. So we're now 5 years out from that, and we've been doing it, and we still have our meetings at places, and a lot of it we don't even meet with them anymore. We'll do it online. Yep, here's Messenger. Okay, let me get you on a quick Zoom call. Let's go over some stuff. I can send you some samples. We can do that way with it. Perfect. One of the stores that we're working on today is that we have never met face to face. We've done everything online and shipped, and I don't even think we've had a video call. We've just sent stuff back and forth, and it works. So we're going to walk you through all those processes of what we do, how we can make that happen, and really push hard on that. Because when you look at it, everything that you can get out of it, I know that you can run a 6-figure business out of your house, just a heat press, and you don't even need equipment for this, because we're going to walk through fulfillment side of it, where you can have it all done for you, and then you're just collecting a percentage of it. So there's a lot of ways to do this, and as you start with that, okay, here I can have somebody else do it for me, I can get a percentage of it. Okay, now I can bring a little of this in house. All right, perfect. Now I can do all of it. So we're going to walk you through the steps of that, different things to offer. I'm really excited about how to make all of that work for it, because it's going to be something that we're passionate about, something that we've helped tons of people with, throughout the years, and now to have its own community, its own space, and that's the only thing that would be discussed there is team stores, corporate stores, Spiritwear stores. There's not going to be like, hey, how can we go about making a design for this? No, it's going to be, that's the focus of it. That's everything that's going to be there. It's its own community just for that. And it will be a paid membership community. The amount of knowledge that we're going to have inside of that is going to be ridiculous. So we are really going to do our best to push through that. But that one is going to be strictly for that. It's not going to be for that. We've got somewhere, we share a lot of different things in it, a lot of personal things on that. This one is straight business, straight to the point, and I'm really excited about that. Yep. So for that one, the general stuff will be in our Makers and Movers group. So stick in that group. General stuff will be in there. The real meat and potatoes of it, you could say, is going to be in that paid private group, and we have it there. Zoom call is a really good idea. Yeah, and that's the thing, is there's going to be accountability call with it. We're setting up for it, planning with it. Each module will have its own thing. So I'm pretty excited about how it all shaped up. It was a really good call with my mentor on Friday, and that's where I said, when it comes to it, like, you really got to invest in yourself. When we look at what we spent out, for coaching, classes, mentorship last year, it was a good amount of money, and it brought in a good amount of money. So we want to make sure that we're staying on track for that, and offering value, offering our things with that. So good, excited with that. Now with that, our regular mentorship community, we have a call there in 26 minutes. So I need to go get set up for that while I'm still working on artwork, still working on some other things to get stuff done. So we've got a busy day ahead of us. Now, make sure to like and subscribe and leave those comments. Those comments after the video help immensely. So as soon as this ends, just go back and tell me what you thought of the show. Tell me future ideas that you have, because as I'm going through my list of things over the next, between now and then, things that we're going to talk about, is marketing for Spiritwear stores, trending designs, relationships with schools, teams, organizations, managing multiple Spiritwear stores at once, common mistakes to avoid, maximize fundraising with it, streamlining. I went through and started going through all of my. I'm trying to think how that even makes sense. Anyway, started going through things that we've done in the past, questions that we had with it, and that's where I have notes after notes, and it's going to take all of this and it's going to be put in one thing, and how do we create the course out of this, because I think it's going to be phenomenal to do there for it, and I'm super excited about it. So until next time, which will be Wednesday, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Peace, love, press on. We will see you then.